Namaskar. Population growth or the lack thereof. We already discussed with Professor R. 𝗤𝙜 about the downside if the population, for TFR, total fertility rate, falls below 2.12. And today, with an alternate perspective about what that means, is Professor Ramesh. Actually, Professor Ramesh and Professor R. 𝗤𝙜 were probably colleagues in IIM-Bangalore at one point of time. So it will be interesting to hear your perspective on this, sir. Over to you. Namaskar.
Thank you. Professor 𝗤𝙜 was not only my colleague, he was my senior actually. And when we joined, actually, like we take inputs from him, like how to do several things and like that. So he was like a guide to many of us, and we always cherish our relationship with him. In fact, he was just my next room, I should say. So I can claim some, affinity with him. So, and then of course his views on many things are well known. And so if you take this population, I think the RSS head has also spoken about that, and that's what triggered several discussions like that.
Right.
So people are increasingly concerned about the declining trend in the population, TFR especially. Population is not declining. In fact, recently Professor 𝗤𝙜 tweeted to somebody saying, "Oh, GDP has come down." He said, "No, GDP has not come down. Growth rate has come down." Imagine how people can really project things. Okay.
Right.
So the TFR is coming down, which means maybe 10, 20 years down the line, population may reach a ceiling and then may start coming down. Right now, the projection is that maybe in another 25 years, our population may stabilize at 1.6 billion or 160 crore and like that. And it looks like it may start coming down even before that. Like China, we are saying it has start coming down last 3-4 years. The absolute numbers coming down, not just the TFR or growth rate or something like that. So that has been the concern. My position, which I want to articulate to you and to your viewers is that, because they're very discerning viewers you have got. So I thought it may have multiplier effect also until it reaches the policymakers. Okay. And then the thought leaders. So the point first is that we have not still reached that stage of, threat from population decline. Okay. I'd say that let's allow one more decade of this. Because I'm working from another angle called I'm in the smart city and all. I'm looking at the carrying capacity of a city and then carrying capacity of an economy and like that. Okay. So imagine the same GDP divided by more people. That's how really, as an economist, I come like that. Okay. And of course, the point that they were making is that, it shouldn't to maintain and let's say for the Hinduism to really thrive and really flourish, we need that. We cannot afford decline in population. That point is well taken. And because this is the only country we have. Other countries probably we are there in maybe more than 100 countries, but this is our country and this is the only country we have. So that way, yes, we should be concerned. But I am only saying that we have not still reached that stage. Second point I'm trying to make is that we have to look more granular. Like you look at state-wise and you look at religion-wise. Shamika Ravi has already, written once about when the Pew, studies came out that the Muslim population growth rate has grown by 45%. And can you show some basic statistics so that
Please do.
With that we can, it will register in the mind for the people.
Just go ahead, sir. Talk to this.
Because I can read it out. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you look at the population as of 1950, one point I'm trying to make is that if you think of population in India, you have to think region-wise and little bit religion also. Okay, we cannot shy away from that, because you cannot have one prescription saying, people should start producing, then some people may start producing more. Okay. And so the population at the start of 1950 was like 30 crore, and then Muslim population was 35 crore, and others was insignificant, Christians and other minor Jains and like that. By almost 2011, it became like 96 crore and 17 crore. Today it's like we are sitting at 1.4 billion plus and like that. So if you look at it, for example, the Hindu population, though it looks like it's very explosive, it has grown by three times, little over 3 times.
Right.
and the Muslims by probably a little over 5 times,
Mm.
from 35 to 175 and like that. So next sheet, I mean, if you see, and this is some basic thing people should remember when they discuss the population statistics. I mean,
Mm.
and this is what Shamika Raviji paper and Pew's, statistics also shows that Hindu population 1950 was 30 crore and
Mm.
116 crore by 2021. Now it could be, 120, 125 something.
Mm.
Muslims is like 115. No, in 1950 it was 3.5 crore. Now it is 20 crore. Okay. So, I mean, our growth has been phenomenal. I mean, if
Right.
people have to understand this, Germany, okay, I was looking at it, 1950 was 7.1 crore, and now it is 8.3 crore.
Mm.
UK was 5 crore, now it is 6.5 crore.
Mm.
US is little more. US is like 14.8 crore, now it is 34 crore, little over two times. I don't know how many countries really grew 5 times, 3 times, 4 times, and things like that in this period.
Mm.
Okay. So it's really, I mean, it's not something that we can really bear with our resource. There's one more country, of course, which grew, which is China. But we are talking of a country, China with probably 1.4 billion dollar, but with 20 trillion GDP. I mean, 19 trillion, let's say. And
Right.
we again 1.4 billion dollar, 1.4 billion population with I mean, just touching $4 trillion. Okay. So this shows the disparity. It's not really population to population or decline in population. For them, it's a luxury. Okay, for the
Mm.
Western countries to really talk of decline in population. Oh, it's bad. People don't want children. And we should encourage and all this. Okay, they can indulge in that. Okay, but let me tell you later. During emergency, I hope nobody has forgotten 1975, 97. No, emergency, there was such a pressure on sterilization, okay, that actually reversed our family planning policy that time, okay, with the support from, encouragement from World Bank just looked at the other way. Forced sterilization we had, only in 1976 we had about, 6 to 8 million sterilization, okay. And then what happened? Rajnarayan became the health minister in the Janata Party. He just turned it around. I mean, after that, nobody was even speaking of family planning in India. In fact, the entire development that has happened, the decline in the growth rate of population is thanks to the economic development, not because of family planning and things like that. People voluntarily opting for that, from all segments. I mean, I'll show you one more state-wise. I mean, here, if you look at it, 1959, 2021, this is another thing. Death rate, if you see, it was 44 per thousand. Now it is around 16 like that. If you see sorry, that was the birth rate. Death rate, if you see, it is 28 per thousand and 7.47 per thousand. So this is also we have to factor in. At that time, if people had 4 children, probably the probability of the infant mortality was also very high. Okay,
Right.
so they had 4 children, 3 children, but that has been drastically arrested. Infant mortality has come down, and death rates have also come down, and life expectancy has gone up. People say, we will have a longer life, and the share of the people above the age of 60, let's say, will be very high by, let's say, 2040. But life expectancy is going up, and people are also, like, even in US people work till 70 years probably. Only in
Yeah.
India we had this mental thing like 58 people retire, 60 people retire, like that. Okay, so that is also increasing. And as you proceed, even the job, lot more and more automations may happen. I mean, AI happens, robotics happens, all these things, which are all labor substituting. So how do we really place them, and how do employment? That will be a big challenge. Almost like every year we produce one country. That's the sort of situation we are now. Next page, can you just take it? Look at the state-wise. So I was looking at, does economic development make a difference to, let's say, the population growth? So we
Yeah.
say that economic development is the best contraceptive. Okay, not sterilization or any of this. If you look at all India, it has come down drastically from 3.1 in 2001 to 2.1. And even among Muslims, it has come down from 4.1, which was very high indeed, 2.7. In fact, this many demographer, left liberal democracy, oh, it has come down drastically. No, it has come down drastically from a very high point of 4.1. In fact, this 4.1 was, we were in 1950. Okay, that was the situation we had. Assam surprisingly has done very well. If you see, like, two Hindus, if you see 2.19, if you see, 2019, it was only 1.59. So there you need more, but probably like Sharma should really notice, Hemant Sharma should notice this. Whereas Muslim population, if you see 5.1, it was at its peak in 2001, and now it is 2.38. And then West Bengal, West Bengal has done well for the Hindus. Muslims also come down, but Bihar and UP are the ones which are really high, if you see. Hindus are also high. That's one point people are making, is that where the Hindu TFR is high, Muslim TFR is also high. But what I would make a point here is that, I know I don't mean to be controversial, I'm just speaking on the basis of facts. If you take the TFR, population growth share and all that, let's say Muslims are probably a decade behind India, okay, in terms of the adoption and then practices and really improving their own welfare like that. After all, we are calling it family welfare, no? So it is also family welfare. And being on the higher side, you are really hurting your own family welfare. The Congress government only changed it from, family planning to family welfare. So which means if you have to really look at the welfare, you have to look at the TFR and then the growth rates and like that. I'm sure UP government will be seriously looking at this, and maybe by we don't have the statistics sadly, by 2015, UP also would have come down. Now Bihar will be probably the state which might be left out. If you say Gujarat again is 1.83 from 2.90 for the Hindus, and for the Muslims 3.1 to 2.12, which has again come down for the Muslims also, which again shows that, I would say a development model which Gujarat followed has helped both the Hindus and Muslims, isn't it? With no
Yeah.
pressure on the Muslims for any, any sterilization or any family planning, unlike what Congress did. Yeah, we can stop the screen sharing.
Oh, I finally got it, sir.
Okay. No, it's my bad. Like, sorry. I will see how to adjust within my own system and like that. Yeah, that's the end of it. So I want to say that, you have to really look at it from, region wise also, which is state wise, and don't have one prescription that go for 3 children now. Then immediately which states will go for it. So, and we have to look at it region wise also without any, negative thoughts on that. I'm saying that their own community leaders and people, and then the government has to encourage, if the overall population has to be kept in check. Now let me come to what happened. How did
Hang
we?
on, Professor Ramesh, 1 second. On the Bihar row, if you
Uh,
look at 2011 Muslims, that's 3.30, it's
uh,
actually gone up to 3.63.
exactly, it went up. Yeah, how it
Yeah.
could have happened? Again, let me tell you one thing. Ayerji, like, on a population of 100 crore, people are not appreciating what does this point system means. Okay, it's actually like some millions. Okay, it's not like you're adding some thousands or lakhs or something. You're adding millions and crores. That's what happens. Okay, like,
Hmm.
yeah, where is Bihar? Yeah, if you see 3.30 and 3.63, something, all these population figures, and when I was looking at our own figures, and when I was looking at US, UK, Canada, and all that, you don't immediately believe those figures. First of all, you keep relooking. How is it that it went up like that, whereas
Right.
other countries are, just managing like that, and they don't talk about, decline in population. In fact, I don't know, in US you may be having certain cities which are ghost cities or something like that. It's not that bad, but which could have been, with much less population is managing, than what it was maybe in 1980 or 1990s and like that. So that sort of situation we don't have. Combined with that, now coming to my own, point of carrying capacity. Look at New York. Sometime back, I read a news item about maybe 5, 10 years back. New York population doubled in 40 years. It said they lamented. No, we double every 10 years. Our cities, if you
Hmm.
look at it, no city can manage it. For example, next time we'll speak on that. Chennai, every time there is a rain, nowadays even for no not so bad rain, but even for above average rain, it starts flooding. I mean, rain I was in Chennai and had a problem, and my train came 3 hours late, 4 hours late. I was standing in one railway station only for 3 hours. Why? One, of course, mismanagement and under provisioning, but another is also the rapid expansion. I mean, Chennai is not, your city is made for 20 lakhs, but now managing 1 crore. Okay, this really a bad anticipation from the city planners and then overall population policies and things like that. So that's the second point I want to make is that the carrying capacities and all. But where you have the replacement rate of 1.4, 1.5 and all, those places they have to look at that. Those again, we don't know the statistics. I mean, we need to really look at those statistics. I hope these are not like exit polls and like that. I mean, because the recent post 2011, you have only estimates. Okay, I mean, you don't have census and like that. So, one another thing dire need is that we need a census first of all, isn't it? I mean, it's now like a 15-year census. It will become 2011, and then now 2015. It will come. I think 2015 there may be census like that. So the
2025.
2045, sorry. So if you see that way, the points I'm making is that, I mean, population growth has been tremendous. I mean, it's still growing. It has not started declining. So what we are really talking is about what might happen 25 years down the line, 20 years down the line. And I personally feel for a country like this with burning problems of today's, to really talk of 25 years down the line is a luxury. Okay, just as the Western economies, they are not talking a declining population in their country. They are talking a declining population in China and in India. I don't know whether they see as the market for them and then the labor for them or something like that for the future. Okay, and definitely it will impact our own growth and our own economic growth and our own per capita income. I mean, it's very simple arithmetic that way. Denominator is population, isn't it?
Right.
So this is the point that I wanted to share. Please do, and I know government should now plan granularly. Like you have aspiration districts, so you need to look at districts which are really declining growth rate and districts where you have got still a rapid growth rate. Okay, anything about 2.2, 2.3 is high because it's not like it's only 0.2 difference. Our natural rate should be 1.9 and 2, and 2.2 is okay. No, it's really a difference of 0.3 on a population of 100 crore, 140 crore, and like that. Like your own share market. I mean, 3% is not a bad rate, bad return if you really see on an annual rate and like that. Yeah, would you like to make any pose any questions or where do we
Um,
take from?
we don't have any questions. I just wanted to make one observation.
Yeah.
See, the problem, I don't have an issue if
Hmm.
one community starts growing at a faster rate than the other, if
Hmm.
people think along the lines of a country. The problem
Okay.
comes when you don't start thinking along the lines of a country. This is where I see as a problem. Second thing is, it's not only that, but the other minority also is behaving strangely. They are much more literate, they have balance,
Correct.
yet they want to listen to their padre. The same padre who's supposed to be a Catholic, and he's screwing around with nurses. Sorry to be speaking the blunt truth. This is the truth. So you have completely, you made a mess of your own religious beliefs, and yet somehow these people are telling how they should vote. And that is only because they have created this fear that the majority Hindus will not take you or treat you kindly if you don't stick together. There is absolutely no truth to this. Sir, did you treat any of the students of a different religion differently in your classes?
Never, never,
So
never,
then,
and nobody can have a grudge also.
sir, then tell me something. There are people who are masters and PhDs in the other communities. Yet when it comes to voting, they vote against one party. It's always against one party. I
Okay, there
mean,
is one more minor point. Sorry, I mean on your point, which to
yeah,
reinforce. Not only the growth, but the concentration in the growth is also an issue. Okay,
right.
the population, the way it's getting concentrated. Okay, if it is dispersed everywhere, it doesn't matter. I mean, then it become like influential enough to influence voting and like that. Okay, So that's again, I'm sorry, I mean, I interrupted you. So you are talking about discrimination and then one religion growing.
Yeah. So when you don't find it at all in the workplace, you don't find it in the community also. People come and buy something because they find value in what they're buying. They're not looking at the owner, the proprietor's name, or the religion of the proprietor. None of that stuff. So
Never.
why this fear, and how does one allay that fear, especially when the intelligentsia in these communities also want to do the same thing?
I can only say that, I mean, the leaders have to take the responsibility for that, you know. I mean, their own community leaders, I don't know how to really bring them around. Okay. And there has been more engagement probably across all groups and like that. But another point I would like to make on this, which is also, I would say, where the fear about the Hindus come is that I think we need to educate the current generation, which our generation has failed probably. Like we talk about late marriage. Okay, late marriage also there is one economics in the sense. See, when I joined civil service in 80s, most of us joined at the age of 23. Now people join at the age of 28. People make like 4 5 attempts. Okay, now you take the MBAs. Okay, people used to join at 22. Just they'll finish degree and join. Okay, maybe 21, 22, 23 like that. Today we are stressing, I mean, sort of OKEX. Okay, then what happens? Another 2 3 years get added, so they are about 25 26 is the average of MBA. So what happens? Everybody keeps postponing the marriage, saying that let me work, let me do MBA, let me do MS, then let me do work for 2 years, then get married and like that. Okay. Now these things, how do you really convince your children? How do you really turn them around? I don't know. That's where again Hindu leaders have to talk about age of the marriage. Imagine making 18 as the legal because it was lower than that. Otherwise, you would not have made it as a legal minimum.
Right.
And then now going to 28. Okay, if you look at the
Right.
matrimonial size, most of them will be 28, 26. That will be the median probably, if you really look at the
Right.
matrimonial size. Across
Right.
caste speaking, not
Sir,
any
it has
person.
crossed 30 in US, sir. It has crossed more than 30.
Oh, okay. Hmm. So you can imagine, at least, but we still stay with one spouse. I mean, okay, at least that is again to be stressed in
Yeah.
India.
I don't know. I think we are going to differ on this one because it opens up a big can. So we'll stay
Hmm.
with this.
Yeah,
And thank you so much, Professor Ramesh. And viewers,
thank you.
see, this is not an easy topic because there's a net growth in population. For that, resources also need to keep
Correct.
in step, which is what he was saying about Chennai floods. And it's not easy. In fact, I noticed that now there was a time when in Chennai, after 8 p.m., traffic will just fall away. Roads will
This
be all quiet. Not anymore. And in the mornings also, by 6:37, it starts becoming very busy.
bustling.
And at
There
10,
is
11, oh
no
my God, we are crawling.
there is no off-peak time now in cities. That's the
Yeah,
reality.
very true, very
No,
true, very
there's
true.
no off-peak time, and I mean, I landed at Bangalore like maybe 11 o'clock. Still, there's a traffic when to reach my
Right,
home. I
right,
mean, that's
right.
ridiculous. I mean, we need a peace. I mean, Bangalore, you're talking about Chennai, after 7, Bangalore will be sleeping. And I'm
Mm,
talking
mm,
even like 70s and 80s probably.
yeah.
So that's a,
Thank you so much, sir. We'll see you again very soon. Namaskar.
yeah, please. Yeah, thanks a lot. Bye.